Hey, what's up guys? I'm Nick Naja. My voice and face are disguised so I can give you secret tips and tricks of the military without being detected. Today's video is going to be about BRC, or Basic Reconnaissance Course, which is where Recon Marines are made. This is going to be video 1 of a 3-video series, so stay tuned. Each video will be about each phase of BRC. Before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that little bell thing. Although there have been recent changes made to the Basic Reconnaissance Primer Course and Basic Recon Course, this series will reflect the experiences of those who went through these courses prior to those changes. We hope this gives you valuable insight based on our real experiences as opposed to projecting what our experiences would have been like after these changes. As you could probably guess, we're going to kick it off with first phase, where you learn individual skills. Just remember, there's no insight that I or anyone else can give you that will ultimately make or break your success in BRC. If you want it bad enough and you don't quit, it doesn't matter if you know every detail of BRC or nothing at all. If anything, it can hurt you to know or think you know all the details about BRC because you may find yourself relying on the reassurance of knowing what is coming your way. With that being said, once you go to Recon Training Company or RTC, you'll get all kinds of good and bad advice from classmates that are further along in training than you are. Either way, you just have to make mature and smart decisions about how you prepare yourself for training, and don't try to game it to the point that it bites you in the butt. Aside from a PFT where you need to score a first-class score, first phase of BRC kicks off with the RPAT, or Recon Physical Assessment Test. Some will fail this, but you get a second chance at the end of the phase, after you've been running around in the mountains learning land navigation. So if you struggled on the ruck portion of the RPAT because you don't do well running with weight, then trust me, after passing land nav, you shouldn't have much trouble. We have videos on both the RPAT and how to ruck, so make sure to give them a look if you don't know about either one of them. If you haven't guessed by now, land navigation is a big part of first phase. A lot of guys worry about land nav and want to get an edge up on it before BRC. If you have the time to brush up with the Marine Corps or Army land nav manual, then sure, a base understanding of the concepts might help, but don't feel like it's absolutely necessary. Remember that as a Marine, you'll have an introduction to land nav both in boot camp and MCT or ITB. As a corpsman, you'll have the opportunity to do it at Field Met or FMTB. If you want an edge up, pay attention during those classes. You'll get better classroom instruction in BRC and a lot more practice. A key note that I can give you that would be an underrated key for success and more or less applies all throughout BRC, but especially in land nav, is sleep, nutrition, and hydration. Those are things I see guys take lightly because their bodies are young and resilient, but you have gear to prep and won't get that much sleep. Plus you have the physical demands of PT and land nav compiled with hours of sitting in the classroom. Hydration, nutrition, and sleep can become a defining factor of success. Not only because your attention and focus will be better while in the classroom, but if you or a classmate falls asleep during land nav lectures, your body just got taxed even more because the whole class is going to pay for that. Here are some hydration tips. Spend a little extra money and get Pedialyte instead of Gatorade if you want an electrolyte beverage. Don't give me that crap about the taste. It's not that bad. The ratio of sugar to electrolytes is more ideal in Pedialyte, and if you take in an excess of sugary drinks without enough water, it can exacerbate dehydration. Your cadre will brief you on signs and symptoms to watch for regarding dehydration and other heat-related illnesses, so pay close attention to early signs and adjust fire as necessary. Sip water continually throughout the day. You'll have a Camelback on at all times. You'll be on an MRE diet during land nav training, so in the evening make sure you're getting plenty of fiber and vegetables. If you've eaten MREs for more than a couple days in a row, that shouldn't require too much explanation. Those things can stop you up. Make sure to eat plenty of vegetables when you can because the minerals from them are important for muscle function and recovery. Things in BRC go crawl, walk, run, and each different technique in land nav gets incorporated in that way. There are long days with lots of miles on your feet and not a lot of sleep. Don't be surprised when land nav test week happens if you clock over 100 kilometers on your feet that week. You're learning both night and daytime land nav. Once you've been taught and practiced each navigating technique, you do a series of practice tests before moving to a different training area that you have not worked in yet to perform your graded land nav. If you fail day or night land nav on test day, you'll immediately retest the next day. Don't lose heart if you have to retest. Consider that you have already seen the terrain and stay focused. Pay attention to detail. That's not groundbreaking advice, but it needs to be said anyway. You'll be doing some finning in the pool and also some underwater work that's going to test your breath holding and water confidence, but the attitude sort of shifts more from putting you through the grinder and more towards preparing you for amphib phase, as compared to BRPC, where they're just beating you to see who wants to be there. Other skills you learn following land nav are rappelling and fast roping, which is a fun day. If you're scared of heights like Nick Naja is, just stay focused and take faith in your training. Don't be a total sissy about it. You still gotta send it. Lots of guys are scared of heights and still perform these operations despite the fact that it can be more intimidating for some than others. Spy rigging is an insert-extract method you'll learn about, but whether you have air support to do it live is a hit or miss. You'll get some classes on demolition and the day at the range to blow stuff up, which is also a fun day, but don't be a dirtbag, because if you slack off on basic things, it can turn bad once the range is over. You'll spend a few days learning call for fire, which is fun to learn and a great skill. It's very likely you'll get a range day to call live mortars as well. Great experience. That pretty much sums up the first phase of BRC. Again, pass the RPAT, get a first class PFT, pass land nav and your academic tests, and don't be a dirtbag. Be prepared to work through the weekends. This phase is probably the best phase to get as much sleep as you can. The next video will be about second phase, known as patrol phase. For those of you who went through this course in the past, they recently changed the order so that amphib phase is the last phase. Thank you for your support and thanks for watching. Nausea, out. All your friends are subscribing to General Discharge and you don't even want to be here.